So people come up to me, they ask me, Dave, what are you playing? And I'll tell them, right now, I'm playing Swords and Soldiers. Wow, that name is a tongue twister. Actually, I should note that this game has actually been out for about a year now, but I only just picked it up because I only really knew of the game through the recent Humble Indie Bundle, the Humble Indie Bundle for Android, and it actually made its Android debut on there, so that's where I've been playing it mostly. Unfortunately, I cannot record from my Android device. I have not rooted it, and it does not support, and my capture card does not support HDCP. Look it up. You'll rage if you hate DRM as much as I am. Anyway, I'm just gonna go into skirmish mode just to show you the general idea of this game, just so that way you can kind of get a whiff of what we're expecting here. To give you a more clear idea of what the game is, it is a 2D side-scrolling real-time strategy game. Yes, it's an RTS. It was a little surprising to me. I'll go ahead with the Chinese guys here, because I haven't really gotten enough experience out of fighting them, and I'm kind of curious, really. But yeah, well, I'll get into the mechanics of how it works as an RTS really shortly. Let's just pick. Well, let's just go with a small-size map. I really don't need to worry too much. I don't want this to be too much of a clusterfuck for starting. I mean, this is our RTS. We shouldn't get too over our head here. So, all right, that seems like a good map. Let's start with this. All right. So, first thing we want to do is just, for the most part, getting. Mechanics of the game are pretty straightforward. You start off with just workers, and then you actually need to kind of buy the ability to summon summon other units. So start off, so we get the workers going. I don't get the point of having multiple mines though, considering that the workers only seem to go for the closest one. But that's whatever. And go ahead and maybe send out. It looks like they haven't oh wow, they actually have sent out their first unit, so let's just go ahead and meet them head on. Attack! And then cast that healing spell to keep them attached. As you probably noticed, we have two different resources here. Heal spell, the blue stuff is mana that you use to heal. And then there's the red spells, and then there's, well, gold for obviously buying units and whatnot. Yeah, that guy wasn't gonna last too long, but. Attack! Upgrade complete! Alright, so I'm just gonna for the most part, I'm just trying to keep things as balanced as I can to try to make sure that my guys survive and I can. Well, take down the enemy's tower. It's pretty much what you expect from an RTS. The thing that makes it interesting is that the fact that it is, in fact, side-scrolling. It means it kind of simplifies things a little bit. It makes it a little bit more manageable for someone like me who has never played that many strategy games before. So I'm gonna go ahead and build a tower here, and let's go ahead and send out a couple of guys. Oh yeah, they're starting to bring in their ranged guys as well, so we might as well go ahead and yeah. For the most part, it's kind of hard for me to accurately describe what's going on, I will admit, but yeah, I'm not super familiar with RTS games in general. I'll just say that outright. My biggest experiences with any RTS games pretty much is Brutal Legend, and before that a little bit of StarCraft, though that bit of StarCraft was mostly me getting my ass handed to me by someone who was far more familiar with the game than I am. So yeah, like I said, RTS is not my purview, to be honest. Not where I'm not the expert on RTSs, but you know, I've been enjoying this game so far. I like that there's still a solid bit of strategy despite the fact that they simplified things. So yeah, know, yeah, you rocket guys are getting annoying. I'm just gonna go ahead and start zapping you if you do not mind. And yeah, the enemy spells are just about as annoying as ones that you can cast, and I will say that. But for a game that is mainly a strategy game, it does a good job with what it offers. So it's about as hectic as I remember StarCraft being, to say the least. And was, of course, like I said, I am far from the best StarCraft player out there, so you probably do want to take any opinions I have on the RTS genre with a grain of salt. But it does. But for a real-time strategy game, I have been impressed. That, like I said, this is not my genre. This is not a genre that I typically play in any capacity. So the fact that this game has been holding my attention on my phone for as long as it has is nothing short of a miracle, if you ask me. So bravo to Two Tribes for making an RTS that actually holds my attention. So it's really all that can be said. Yeah. If only I could get past these guys, because they have been. I almost Zerg rushed them there, I guess you could say, but nah, nope. Bring on the action. Freeze. Hammer time. The puns that these guys pull out is just. But yeah, you know, I've got to give them credit. Let's see, I'm really just flabbergasted trying to think of things to say like it's, but. Games for this game do tend to get a bit on the long side, which I guess is... Well, I guess I could talk about the mobile version, since that's what I've mostly been playing. And if I can say one thing is that for a mobile game, the rounds do tend to take a bit long. I guess, you know, since it's coming from a PC, since this originally started as a PC game, I guess I really shouldn't be griping as hard as I am, but, you know, I don't know, it's just a kind of a weird thing, it's to go into this and then have to, you know, just make do with the time that you're given instead of, you know, what they tell you. Also, I guess, I'm trying to think. I do have to say, also the campaign mode, I guess since I haven't been decided to not show that, I guess I shouldn't really touch on that. The campaign mode seems to solely exist for the sake of being one big tutorial, so just one tutorial for all of the different units that you get for each class, for each, well, I don't know, and I don't know what phrase I could use, but for each group. Yeah, but overall, though, I will say this: it has been difficult. Another gripe I do have, though, is that you saw on the PC version it happens to have online multiplayer, and that's great. I'm happy for that, but I think that is not true for the mobile version, which is actually quite sad for me, because like I feel like that this game would be so much better if I happen to have, you know, run into a friend and he happened to pick this game up too, and then I could just hook up via Bluetooth and go one-on-one with him there. But no, that option isn't there for some reason, and it's honestly a little baffling. This seems like to be a perfect game for something like that, but no, they don't give you that option. I'm gonna need to start getting more workers going, because I have a feeling this. Yeah. Oh no. You know what? Forget it. This is a wipe. This is a wipe. I'm not even gonna bother. This is a wipe. Yeah, like I walk in talking about how much I suck at RTSs, and you get to watch me just completely die. I mean, I could probably zap these guys to kind of slow them down a bit, but in the end, we know of where this is heading. My slow, inevitable demise. Oh well. Damn you, Buddha. Damn you to hell. And 8 minutes for one game. Yeah, that's about par for the course, if you ask me. Some of the games in the campaign are timed missions, so you know they actually let you kind of, so you kind of know how long to expect. But the later missions, after you know they teach you all the different skills that you can get, they can really drag out, and you really need to be on the ball to deal with some of these, especially the later stage. I've only really completed the Viking campaign. I haven't done the Chinese or Aztec ones, but the Viking campaign, oh, it's just, they show you just how painful the Aztec can be, and I kind of went with the Chinese because I thought, well, maybe they'll be easier. No, they got some really painful buffs. The Vikings are pretty well-rounded, though. But yeah, I guess one game of Swords and Soldiers should give you a good gist of what to expect out of this, and I think that's all I really need to show you to say, hey, you know, check it out if you want to. I will say that, though, it is very interesting on a touchscreen, and I've been enjoying it, and I also have to give Two Tribes credit for the fact that, for the Android version, for, you know, like I said, I have a Galaxy Nexus, so that's my phone, and older games, if they haven't been updated properly, will still show a menu button when that's something they've kind of phased out in recent versions of Android. Does not show in this game. I gotta give them credit for Two Tribes for actually being on the ball with this. I cannot count how many games in the first Humble Indie Android bundle had virtual menu buttons that popped up, and like Edge, when there's a big menu up top. I don't get that. Oh well, whatever. But yeah, Swords and Soldiers. I've been enjoying it on my Android device. It's part of the. If you're planning on picking it up for Android, right? I believe it's exclusively for the Humble Indie bundle right now, as long as it's lasting. Which will end next Sunday, I believe. So go ahead and pick that up, and while you're at it, you'll get the Steam version, and you'll get a chance to enjoy the online multiplayer for the. Now, if only I could get local multiplayer for the mobile version. Maybe they'll update it in a later version. Oh well. Until next time, everyone, I'm Dave, and that's what I've been playing. Take care.